Hello guys, the history class 12th NCERT, which has 3 parts, part 1, 2, 3, which is covering ancient, medieval and modern, will be done in detail in this series, and this is the first video of that, where we'll be doing chapter 1 of part 1 textbook, that is the Harappan civilization. Okay, it will be a little lengthy because in the textbook itself there are more than 32 pages, and when we do it in the lecture format, we have to cover everything in detail, which will be very factual. Okay, timeline, the maps and locations, important sites, insignificance of each of the site, history, economy, polity, architecture, society, lifestyle, and the decline of the civilization, and many historian insights are there, which again is factual, and from this all questions are coming. So you have to make notes in this series. Okay, you have to make notes in the in a table format. You have to make. History is always good if you have table format. Okay, like suppose like a column like this is there, and right here Harappa, then here Mohenjo-daro, here Kalibangan or Rakhigari. These are different sites of historical significance in Harappa, and against each of this you should write. Whenever I tell like Harappa, maybe like it's maybe famous for canals, or it is the first site discovered, or it is discovered in 1912, like that. Anything if I tell that and all, you should start filling in this particular box. Okay, and like that Mohenjo-daro, you should fill in the second box. And this is not only for this textbook. Now you make notes here, and when some other textbook you read and Harappa, you get one extra information that you fill to the same box, so that your knowledge is filled in the same table. Okay, this already in our test series we are giving to our students. Okay, example, this is a Paleolithic, Mesolithic, Neolithic and Chalcolithic, the ages, the different ages and their significance, and all this data is from multiple textbooks, not from one single textbook. Okay, so this will be given along with the test series packages when they enroll to it. But here in our textbook NCERT, it will be in paragraph format, and it will not be as simple as how you see this on screen. Okay, so I will try to teach it, and more NCERT's based revision charts I will show you here, so that you understand what our students are studying. Okay, so here if you see again Harappa specific, pre-Harappan, early Harappan, mature Harappan, late Harappan. This is all I will tell you in lecture. I will tell you, but I am just showing you the revision chart format, how you have to make notes. Okay, in case you are not enrolling with us. So this one, if you see flourishing cities of different states. Okay, this is states here, and within the state the locations here, and within the locations what are the significance of each thing. This we keep on adding. Okay, whenever some new information we get, we keep on adding there. So like that you have to make notes, whether it's for prelims oriented or mains oriented. This if you have, then in one glance, without even looking into any NCERT textbook again, you can revise it for your exam. Okay, these images will be like these charts will be in image format, and all our students can save it in their phone, and any time when they are traveling or when they are standing outside the exam hall, every time they can refer to it and quickly revise. Okay, from this direct questions are coming every year. Okay, every year it will come like which is a place within India now, or which is now after partition it went to Pakistan, or maybe where is the biggest drainage system or biggest granary, or any kind of thing where roads are at right angles. Many things of Harappan is there which are very factual, or the agriculture, which are the animals found, whether horse was known to them, whether bull was known to them, or where is that they use canal irrigation system, where is well irrigation system. All these things are there in your textbook, but you have to make notes like this so that your revision will be easy. Okay, and that is why we call it as the revision chart. And from this chart itself, if you know previous year questions, you will notice many of these things. Okay, like whether horse is known, or whether Chalcolithic has copper in it or bronze in it. Everything is asked once in prelims. That is why you have to make notes in this format if you are not enrolling with us. Okay, else listen to the lecture very properly. All the 3 textbooks of the 12th standard will be covered. And here you should first know that this is equivalent of your class 6, 7, 8 NCERT. Okay, like this one is part 1 is equal to class 6th NCERT. Equal to means the topic, both are ancient history, and this medieval is class 7th, and this modern is class 8th. Okay, that's the same thing, only they are in little more detailed way in story format. They are teaching you in class 12th in 3 textbook as part 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we will cover all 3 of these, and you, as I told, prerequisite, watch the class 6, class 7 and class 8. Okay, simply in YouTube go and type Vysh NCERT class 7. All the, not only history, even geography, polity, everything will come free of cost. You can watch it. Okay, so ancient history, now when we discuss this textbook, what are the chapters? First is Harappan civilization. Then we have this king, farmers and towns. If you see, it's timeline based. Okay, first it will be this 2000 BC and all, then it will become 600 BC, then it will become 600 AD, and then after that post that. Okay, so thinkers, believers, the kingship, this is all what you study in textbook 1 of class 12th, which is equivalent of your class 6th or a enhanced version of your class 6th. Medieval history, when we start, we'll continue from there, like theme 5, theme 6 is given. So first again travelers of the medieval times, then there is Bhakti Sufi traditions, then there is Vijayanagara, from which many questions in prelims are coming these days, then the peasants, the landlord system and all these things, again from which last year also questions came. This is the medieval history part. Now class 12th part 3, which is equivalent to your class 8th, there again you will start the colonialism, the Britishers, Portuguese arrived, then the 1857 revolt, then Gandhiism and Gandhi movement, then the framing the constitution and kind of a post-independence section. This is what you will study in all these 3 textbooks. Okay. So we will start with Harappan civilization, and many content will be there. So I'll hide myself here so that you can see it completely, the full screen you can see. So here the timeline it's given. This is in the end of the chapter which is actually given, but this is the kind of way you have to make notes also. Okay, you have to know like Paleolithic means what? Paleolithic is actually, or Lithic itself means it is the Stone Age. Okay, this is the Stone Age. So Stone Age, depending on the timing, whether it is like the oldest one or whether it is the little later than that, that way the Paleolithic and the Mesolithic is kind of intermediate, and Neolithic is again Stone Age only, but little more advanced tools they started making, and then agriculture and the pastoralists increased. So this timeline you have to know. Okay, by heart you have to know, like by 10,000 BC we have the Neolithic age. Okay, so then after that the Chalcolithic will come, which is the Copper Age. Okay, meaning after stone they are upgrading to copper, and after that copper and tin they will mix so that they get Bronze Age. Okay, this is actually a Bronze Age. The Harappan civilization is much more advanced and urban, you can tell. And after that we will have the Iron Age also, where iron tools and iron weapons and all these things they are making. Even mega burial sites will be found in those days. So this is now 1000 BC time, and parallelly the Harappan civilization is going on, and then we will slowly exit that. Okay, Harappan decline will happen, and that is how you go to the next Rigvedic age and other things. Okay, this and all in your R.S. Sharma textbook also, if you go and study in a proper timeline format they have given. So the first learning is knowing the basic timeline of Stone Age and Harappan civilization. After that the same thing, modern time. Okay, modern time in about Harappan archaeology, that archaeologists started studying about it. So 1875, if you see Alexander Cunningham, okay, he and all was part of the Archaeological Survey of India. So he did a report on Harappan seal, which I will teach you in detail today. Okay, then in 1921, Dayaram Sani, an Indian, is beginning the excavations at Harappa. Okay, Harappa actually many brick robbers were there, so many of the bricks and many sites were actually plundered, and we don't have much remains there. But Mohenjo-daro, we have lot of remains. Okay, it's a, when we dig deeper, we get a very well planned, excellent urban town. We get it. Okay, that is in 1922. So almost all the time, same time. Okay, then these people again, R.M. Wheeler, S.R. Rao, B.B. Lal, B.B. Thapar, M.R. Mughal, all these in your prelims you would have seen in Match the Following and all, they keep these people's name, and the right side instead of Harappa they will give something like Vijayanagara dynasty. Okay, so you should know that these people were involved in what activities. Okay, they were all archaeologists related to particular places. Okay, like see Harappa, here he is Lothal, here he is Kalibangan. So as I told, if you had made a column against Kalibangan, you can write this person's name. Okay, against Lothal, you can write this person's name. Against this Bhavalpur, you can write this person's name. So like that, you have to make notes. Okay, then 1980, German and Italian archaeologists are doing explorations. American team is doing excavations at Harappa. Then again, if you see at Dholavira, okay, then Rakhi Ghari, which is the biggest site in India, okay, of Harappa civilization. And like this, everything, if you know, which is at least given in the textbook. Beyond this also there will be many things, but at least this you should be knowing very clearly. Okay, so now if you want to study this, one method is making tables like this, or easier way is enrolling to a proper test series who will cover all this. This is a sample of our question PDF and our answer PDF of this particular textbook. Okay, every textbook we have test PDF, and it will be very detailed. For example, here Harappan seals, if you see question number 1, they're asking it is made of a stone called stitite. It has animal motifs and signs on it. It has writings on them, of which the script is still now undeciphered. So 3 statements are given, and the same if you see, this is the textbook. See, this is the chapter we are discussing, first chapter. Here the answer, see, 1, 2, 3, all 3 are correct. It is there in 12th chapter, part 1, chapter 1, and here we are telling the same thing what is there in the textbook. Okay, so you will get a double revision if you enroll to our test series. If you see here, which of the following Harappan site is located in the present day India? Okay, so 4 sites are given. All are Harappan sites only, but present day India, meaning after partition, 3 of them went to Pakistan side. Okay, Sukta Gandhor is actually Pakistan, Amri is Pakistan, Koddiz is Pakistan. Only this one is actually now in India. Okay, that also if you want to see here, see this one. This is the only one in India. And then separately, it's not only that we explain all the sites of present day Pakistan and present day India. So that in future, any question comes in prelims, you will be able to answer it. Okay, then if you see the next question, which is here, a big one. This is the usual type, typical UPSC is asking these days, this kind of like 6 statement, 7 statement questions. Okay, so here if you see, bones of gharials were found at some Harappan sites, millets were consumed in Gujarat, Cholistan site had terracotta models of plough, then canals were found in Punjab, Sindh and Multan, citadel and lower town were generally walled, then residential houses and had more windows at ground level than the higher stories. Okay, so even if one fact you know, you could eliminate. Okay, you should know that in the ground level they usually don't have windows. So 6th one you can eliminate. So you can eliminate this, you can eliminate this. Okay, same like that, canals were not found everywhere. Canals were not found in Punjab and Sindh. So 4th also you can eliminate and you get the answer as 1, 2, 3, 5. See, by looking just 2 statements which you could have learned from the same NCERT, you could have solved this question. Okay, here explanation is given and whatever needed is highlighted also. Okay, this level of detailing is there in our explanation. So with lecture plus this thing plus the explanation, everything, you are going to easily clear prelims. Okay, see again, match the following: 3 old names and 3 new names. This also is UPSC's favorite. So if you see, Dilmun is Bahrain, Meluha is actually referring to the Harappan area only, Indian area, not Saudi Arabia, and Magan is the Oman area. Okay, so that also is there in your NCERT in the same chapter. So now when teaching you, you will see this. So if you want to enroll to this so that your study become easier, meaning you watch a lecture, then you get the access to these PDFs, then you have to enroll to our test series. Okay, test series will have the full package is pack 1. Don't look into this pack because this keeps getting updated. Look the subject level pack only, pack 2 onwards. Okay, whether you want 18 history test based on all textbook or only NCERT or only geography and environment, only polity, only revision charts, everything sub packages are there. Okay, and you can message me also in WhatsApp number given here so that I can guide you in enrolling to it. If you enroll to it, you will be getting access to the test PDF. Okay, lectures anyway I am doing for free. Lectures are free, but the test PDF which I am showing you here, these things are paid. Okay, this thing, if you have it with you, I guarantee you that you will clear prelims if you study it nicely. Okay, simply buying is not enough, you have to study it. So now we will do the first chapter from the textbook, Harappan Civilization, that is chapter 1, and we start with the seals. Okay, you already saw a question that is exactly picked up from here only. Okay, this is a sample of a Harappan seal which they use during their trading and all. So here a unicorn kind of animal you see one horn is there, a mythical creature, and some scripts are there which you till now historians could not understand and could not read it. Okay, and so it is made of a stone called steatite. You have to make a note of it. Animal motifs and signs are there, but the script is undeciphered. Okay, and many other things also we discovered in Harappan civilization, that is their houses, the pots, the ornaments, the tools, and majorly the seals. These are the things which archaeological evidence is being used by archaeologists, and based on that only they make more and more conclusions about the civilization. Okay, so Harappan civilization is actually the Indus Valley civilization. Okay, always when a civilization has to exist, there should be a river. So here it is the Indus drainage system, and why it's called Harappan? Because Harappa is the first place to be discovered in the civilization. Okay, so here the timeline, there are 3 phases. There is early phase, then there is a mature or urban phase, and then there is a decline phase. Okay, so early phase is 6000 BC to 2600 BC. Then there is the urban phase, the most flourished one, which is 2600 to 1900 BC. And then decline starts from 1900 BC. Okay, and then that you can call as a late Harappan also. Okay, till 1300 BC it's a late Harappan and it's getting over. Okay, so here you should know that they have excellent pottery. They have bricks which are baked and unbaked. Okay, that depends. If it's a very important place, it will be baked bricks, else it will be unbaked bricks. Then seals, weights, copper, bronze articles. Okay, bronze you should know it's a mix of copper plus tin. Okay, and this is done first time in Harappan civilization. Before that it was only Stone Age or Copper Age. Okay, then we have the other regions where Harappan civilization materials are found. Okay, like in Afghanistan, Balochistan, Sindh, Punjab, Pakistan, all these places Harappan some traces are found. Okay, at least some pottery or some seals or something is found in these locations. Okay, in the map if you take, I will tell you the most important places are, one is Mohenjo-daro because it's the most prosperous one, Harappa because it's in the Sutlej basin, if you see the first site to be discovered, Rakhigarhi because it is the biggest site which is inside India as of now, present day India, and then this Ganveriwala you will see in the learning when you learn, Kalibangan you will learn, then there will be in Gujarat this Dholavira and Lothal you will learn. Okay, see Sabarmati and Mahi rivers are there. So these kind of things, okay, very very important place. Suktagandhor is important because it's the westernmost point of Harappan. Beyond the west, beyond this there is no Harappa. Okay, so like that the northernmost what it is, the easternmost, southernmost, that and all in your class 6th when I was teaching, I showed with pictures. Go and refer to that lecture. Okay, so like this every page is important, every dot is important, because last year if you see many map based questions came, especially from your NCERT class 12 textbook. Okay, So if you now little bit go further, okay, there are 2000 Harappan archaeological sites discovered in the Indian subcontinent, and most of them are between the Indus basin and the Saraswati basin. Okay, so 2/3 of the settlements are in the Saraswati basin. Okay, and then 5 major cities, as I told again, Rakhigari, Mohenjo-daro, Harappa, Dholavira and Ganveriwala, which I showed you in the last picture. And when the remaining sites also, which is like some are regional, may be important for specific things. Okay, meaning these 5 are very famous for multiple things, but other are maybe specific. One may be an agriculture village, one may be a port, one may be a manufacturing center, like that. Okay, so here if you see again, some early occupied areas of Harappa, if you see, this Sissival, then Kodiji, Amrinal. Okay, so these places also UPSC can ask exactly like whether these are from early Harappa. Okay, so because it's given in your in your NCERT textbook, you have to know these 4-5 places in particular. Okay, so the beginnings. Several archaeological cultures, okay, obviously would have been existing even before Harappa also. Okay, so they differentiate it by the distinctive pottery, okay, or the agriculture, whether it was present or not, or whether their building size is how much. Okay, so earlier and all, there were no large buildings. Okay, in your Stone Age and all, there was no large buildings. So that creates a difference. Like, okay, so now something new has started, and that new thing is called the Harappa. Okay. So in 6000, 7000 BC time, where early farming practice were going on, that is the time when Harappa emerges. Okay, and gradually there is a transformation, there is some internal development, and that is how we understand clearly that a new Harappan phase has begun. Okay, and here in the early Harappan and in the mature Harappan, which we tell, it's not like it's totally different. There are a lot of common elements, but the mature will be much more prosperous. Okay, and you should notice that people there, they consumed a very large amount of plant variety food also and animal food also, including fish. Okay, this can be directly UPSC statement that Harappans consumed fish, or there is evidence that Harappans consumed fish. That's all true. Okay, grains, seeds, fish, everything. Okay, then there is this terminologies also you have to know, like archaeobotanist means people who study the ancient plant remains. Okay, same like that, zoologist also will be there, who will study the ancient animal remains. Okay, so in the next slide itself will be there. See, archaeozoologist. Okay, now again, as I told in your notes where you are making that table, you have to note down all this. The grains are found at which all locations. Okay, or which are the grains which they consumed. They consumed wheat, barley, lentil, chickpea, sesame, all these grains they consumed. Millets were found where? It was found in Gujarat. Okay, make notes of this. And rice are relatively rare. So sometimes UPSC will, to trick you, they will tell rice is the most consumed grain of Harappa. It is a wrong statement. Okay, it is very rare. Then animal bones were found, which is like the domestic ones, that is the cattle, sheep, goat, buffalo, pig, all these were domesticated. Okay, but there were wild species also, like the boar or the wild pig, deer, gharial, which is a form of crocodile. So all these things were found, and we do not actually know whether they were hunting themselves or there were some other hunting communities from which the Harappa had some trade relation kind of thing, like they will give something and in exchange they will get the animals. That we are not clear. Okay, so if UPSC tell like Harappans were very great hunters, then there is no proper evidence for that. Okay, NCERT doesn't confirm of that, but they consumed the meat and all, and they also there are bones of all these wild animals. Okay, fish, fowl, everything is available. Okay, agriculture again, technologies, we have to know whether they were doing plowing and all. Okay, but because the plow, okay, the plow will be made of wood, the wood is perishable and it will not stay. Okay, so we don't know whether they had, we could not see it, but there is a toy model. Okay, there is a terracotta sculpture or models of the plow. A wooden toy will, not wooden, terracotta toy will be there. So that are found in sites like Cholistan and Banavali, Haryana. Okay, so that gives an evidence that maybe they are doing, and there is an evidence of plowed like kind of field which is in Kalibangan, Rajasthan. Okay, again in the early Harappan level. So we have evidence of plowed field, we have evidence of terracotta model of plow, but not the original plow, because original plow will be obviously made of wood, and so that is not there. Okay, then on the seal there is the bull. So because of that, they assume that maybe bull and ox they used for the plowing purposes. Okay, this is how they derive at conclusions, or historians derive at conclusions. So each of this place, what is each place giving you evidence? This you have to know in your table format thing, which anyway in my revision chart will be there. So my students don't have to worry. Okay, but free lectures alone you are watching, you have to make your notes. Okay, again when you closely examine the field, there in right angles, 2 different sections and all you can find, which is again giving a conclusion that maybe 2 different crops they were growing together. So if UPSC asked like they were doing intercropping, multiple farming, multi-cropping and all, it can be marked true because they were having evidence that two types of crops were grown together. Now about canals or the irrigation system. Canals, there is this Shortugai site in Afghanistan where clear evidence is there that they use canals. Okay, but it is not found in Punjab or Sindh. This was the question I showed you. It is not found in Punjab or Sindh, but it was found in Shortugai in Afghanistan. Okay, then well system. If there is no canal, they will have well system. So well system for irrigation were found in multiple sites, and in Gujarat, Dholavira, they have evidence of water reservoir. Okay, water reservoir. This also you have to know. This will be asked by UPSC in match the following. Now the tools, photos, if you see, this is the kind of tools. So we are not clear whether they used it for agriculture purpose or maybe some other craft work. It's not clear. Then see the quality of the staircase they are making or the side of walls and all. It's very brilliantly and very smooth. This is how advanced their architecture or archaeology were in those days. Okay. So now different artifacts I told you will be found. Even now, if you know, in traditional household and all, for grinding like maybe coconut or chili, making chili powder and all these things, you need a big stone kind of base will be there like this, and another stone will be there with which you crush the things. This has been found in the Harappan site. Okay, especially from Mohenjo-daro site and all, you have found these kind of things. Okay, the saddle quants they are calling. So there for grinding cereals they have. So this hard, gritty, igneous rock or maybe sandstone. Okay, and the base, this base stone will be convex. Okay, usually like in this shape, U shape, convex. And if you see two main types, smaller stone was pushed or rolled to and fro. Second stone eventually making a large cavity. So this is basics only, but like this they have given in detail in this particular work of Ernest Mackay. Okay, Ernest Mackay, his excavations at Mohenjo-daro in 1937. Based on that they have given this lining. Okay, so you don't have to by heart this, but in case a mains question come, you can quote him for this particular thing, this particular quern and particular grinding machines and all which they used. Okay, so these vessels and the things which they again discovered, maybe they use for mixing, blending, cooking. Like that many things are there which can be either stone, metal, terracotta. Okay, just because they have bronze finding doesn't mean that stone is stopped. Stone is still used. Okay, so going ahead, Mohenjo-daro. So this, if you see, always there will be in most of the cities there will be a small area which is called citadel, which the historians are calling citadel, which is in a height. Okay, which is actually in the Mohenjo-daro movie, if you see, you can see that. So citadel, which is where maybe the royal people lived, okay, or maybe the rich people lived, and that will be at a height also, at a particular height, and it will be walled also with a very like good fort or wall. Okay, and this large area is the lower town where all the other basic population people lived, and this also generally is walled, but there are many areas where it is not walled also. Okay, so these are the basic things you should know, and later I will teach you exceptions, like which is the city where citadel is not walled, or which is the city where wall is higher than the other one. Like that some exceptions will come, but generally there is a small citadel with a height which is royal and walled, and then there is a lower town which is higher area, bigger area, and it is also walled. Okay, so Mohenjo-daro is the most well-known site, but Harappa is the first discovered site. Okay, and see, historians call it citadel and lower town. One is smaller but higher, one is larger but lower. Okay, this is the basics of how a city looks like in the Harappan civilization. Okay, so at a height on a mud or brick platform, the citadel will be there. It is walled and physically separated from the lower town. The lower town is also walled and built on small platforms with great foundations. That means they have good housing, and also it's considered one labor moved around 1 cubic meter of earth daily, and so to build what we see there, okay, at least 4 million person days of work was needed. That much work was done to build such a excellent right-angled kind of well-planned city. Okay, so here again Harappa was the first site to be discovered, but I told you brick robbers were there, so most of the things were gone from there. Okay, 1875 when Alexander Cunningham, who is the first Director General of Archaeological Survey of India, is a fact which you have to know. Okay, he is often called father of Indian archaeology also. He noted that the amount of bricks which were stolen is enough to lay a kind of big railway line or big road between Lahore and Multan. That much 100 miles of worth of bricks were stolen from Harappa site. Okay, but Mohenjo-daro is kind of far better preserved. Okay, so you get most of the learning from Mohenjo-daro site rather than from Harappan site. Okay, so now here, first thing I told you, it is a planned city. Okay, like in modern day India, we have Chandigarh, which is a planned city, meaning you plan it properly, like how many buildings should be there, like a villa project and all. You plan it first, like how much drainage should be there, where should be the temple area, where should be the school area. You decide everything. Like that, it's a very well planned city where bricks were used, which are sun-dried or baked also, and it's of standardized ratio. Okay, that is the length and the breadth were 4 times and twice the height respectively. Okay. That is, you can tell like 4:2:1 kind of ratio. So that is also a thing which UPSC can ask you. Okay, last year UPSC asked like Indian flag, what is the ratio? Okay, like it is 2:3. So like that, same like that, the Harappan bricks were length, breadth, height, if you take, it is 4:2:1. Okay, so this basic things you have to know about Harappan bricks. Then is the drainage system, which is the most advanced, which they had very carefully planned drainage system in the lower town, which is the full residential people are living. The roads, streets, everything are like in a kind of grid pattern. Everything is like kind of right angle and everything is very well planned. Okay, that kind of housing lined way, and every house has a drainage system which is attached to the main common drain which is outside their house. Everything is very well planned. Okay, so along the street, okay, every house need to have at least one wall along the street. That is how they have made it. It will not be somewhere like attached inside or one house is touching the other house. It's not like that. Properly there is a one wall along the street through which it can exit to the main drainage. Okay, see one picture, a drainage in Mohenjo-daro, huge opening. See one full man's height it is. So that kind of well planned it was. Now here citadels, I told you some exceptions. Most Harappan side, I told you, there is a small high western part, which is the citadel, and a large low eastern section, which is the lower town. But at sites at Dholavira and Lothal, which is in Gujarat, the entire settlement was fortified and sections within the town were also separated by walls. Okay, there are many forts, kind of fortification happening there. And in Lothal, if you see, the citadel was not walled. Okay, the citadel in Lothal was not walled but was built at a height. So this is a question which UPSC can ask you, like all the cities had walled citadels is a wrong statement because Lothal is an exception. Understanding my point? So like this you have to know the exceptions when you study. Domestic architecture, I have highlighted the main things. Courtyard will be there. There will be a central courtyard which will be the main place of activity like cooking, weaving, everything people sit there and do, especially in the hot and dry weather. So that this is there in every residential building. Okay, and it's the center of it. And then for privacy sake, there will be no windows in the wall along the ground level. That means what? You have a multi-story house, maybe a 2-floor house. The windows are all in the above floor only. Okay, old houses and all, even now if you go and see, there will be such structures. In the ground level, there will be minimal or maybe no windows. Okay, so here they are telling no windows. So there is a proper privacy for them. Nobody walking on the street can see what is happening inside. Okay, and the main entrance does not give a direct view of the courtyard also, meaning from the main door outside somebody standing, you cannot see the courtyard. There is a proper privacy design in the full architecture. Then every house has its own bathroom paved with bricks and connected to the drains. Okay, this is connecting to the main drain also. And then some houses have remains of staircases. That means they have multiple stories. Then they have, most of the houses had wells for their water purpose or irrigation purpose. And the number of wells in Mohenjo-daro is estimated to more than 700. So you can imagine how big a civilization it is. This is again, you can tell an image, an isometric drawing which the archaeologists are making about a house in Mohenjo-daro, because that is the most prosperous city they have. So it's a kind of like even better than modern houses and all. Okay, maybe small rooms, but it is a very like well designed one. Okay. So about the drains also, as I told, bricks are there, loose bricks are there, and it is in such a way placed that you can even remove the bricks so that cleaning can be done. It's not like one time made and then it's like going on accumulating with the water and sewage and all. It can be very like cleaned from time to time. Okay, and some cases limestone was used. This also UPSC can ask, like for the drainage purpose, Harappans used to use limestone. So it's a true statement. Okay, so drainage first emptied into a sump or cesspit, and then after that it will go to the street drain. So very long drainage channels were there, and this also is told in by this person, Ernest Mackay. Okay, so next time when you see this person's name, you should know we are talking about Indus Valley civilization. And it is not that drainage system is unique to large cities. It is also there for small cities also. Okay, like for Lothal, while houses were built of mud bricks mud and bricks. The drains were made of burnt bricks. So drains have better quality than even their houses. Okay, in Lothal, where I told you citadel is not walled. So this kind of important facts about each city, if you study itself, your prelims you are going to easily clear. Okay, so now again about the citadel, the royal place. There are evidences that there are places for special purposes. Okay, one is like a warehouse where you store all your like grains and granaries, and all these things are there in your royal area. And in Mohenjo-daro, there is a place called Great Bath. It's like a great kind of a pond or a swimming pool kind of thing, you can tell, old ancient one, which again in the Mohenjo-daro movie you can go and watch, it is there. So there it's a rectangular tank and it is in a courtyard. It is surrounded by corridor on all four sides. There is staircases or steps which is leading to the tank. It is watertight and bricks are there. Gypsum is used for fixing it so that it is watertight. And then there are rooms on the three sides. Okay, maybe they are changing room or maybe whatever they use for rituals or any purpose. Okay, so water is flowed into a huge drain after the use. So like this, it's a very well designed, if you see, smaller building with 8 bathrooms is there in the northern side of the Great Bath. So these are all very factual information, but this is the way to study Harappan civilization. Okay, you have to study everything because the questions are coming at this level. Especially if you're history optional students, you have to be able to write it also. This full things you have to write it yourself. Other people, you just have to see the options and eliminate and get to the answer. Okay, so this Great Bath is considered, it is made for some special ritual bath of their festival or some day. Okay, some auspicious day. So here if you see, this is the citadel or this is the Harappan city where this is the Great Bath. Okay, this is the Great Bath. Then here some other courtyards are there, other Mohenjo-daro's deep trenches are there, and many areas are there. Okay, this is all in the within the citadel, that higher area which I told, the royal areas, zoomed map this one is. Okay, this is the citadel of the Mohenjo-daro, which is walled. See, one copper mirror. Okay, that time maybe glass is not invented, so they are using maybe a shiny copper of those days. They are using as a mirror. Okay, so whether there is this burial system, whether there is economic and social differences, meaning whether rich people are buried in a particular way and whether poor people is buried in a different way, that also in the class 6th I have given you a lot of examples and a lot of locations which is missing in class 12th. So go and read the class 6th, okay, or watch my free lecture. So here they are telling some of the people were put in pits. It can be maybe circular, it can be maybe rectangle, and sometimes in that you find enormous quantity of wealth also. Okay, like in pyramids, you know, pyramids of Egypt, which is contemporary of Harappan, same timeline, you find a lot of wealth in the Egyptian one. So in the Harappan, it's not like always there. Sometimes it will be there, sometimes it won't be there. Okay, and sometimes the bricks will be very like baked bricks and very lined and all. So that may be suggesting that maybe this is a very important person who died. Okay, or if it's a normal person from the lower town, maybe it is in a maybe circular one, or maybe nothing, no precious things are there. The bricks are all very like in a disordered way. So that is the only way you can understand whether there is a difference in the people of social economic differences. Okay, based on the brick quality and based on what items you find in the burial. Okay, so some graves have pottery, ornaments, because maybe they believed in afterlife. Okay, so jewelry is also found in some places, and jewelry is not like only women, it is for both men and women. Okay, because they have examples also. They have got many cases where the skull of a male is found and there are lot of micro beads, this shell rings. Then jasper is a kind of a stone, a precious stone which they get. These are all found in a male's grave. Okay, so on the whole, it appears that Harappans did not believe in burying precious things with the dead. Okay, on the whole, but there are cases where you find this also. Okay, if you take Egyptian, majority or almost everything has precious item, but Harappan rarely has precious items. Okay. So when you look for these luxuries, okay, not only in the graves, when you study a lot of things, you find many materials. Okay, the ordinary things, you know, the stone, clay and all, with which you make the querns, the pottery, the needles, the flesh rubbers, the body scrubbers, this and all you find in the normal places or majority places. Okay, but other than that, luxurious items are there. You can see this one is a faience pot. This faience is actually a material made of ground sand, silica mixed with color and gum and then fired. So it's little difficult to make. That is why it is considered precious, and so it is very rarely found also. Okay, inside this you can store some things. So sometimes you find gold and all stored inside this. Okay, so that also if UPSC asks like whether Harappans were aware of gold, it should be true. Okay, here if you see hoards, there is a term called hoards. Hoards are objects kept carefully by people, often inside containers such as pots. Okay, so it can be jewelry, it can be metal objects, it can be metal workers, any important things. So this and all is only a conclusion made by archaeologists. Okay, so rare elements are or materials are, one is this faience, and one is gold or other metallic things which are stored inside this particular thing. Okay, in Harappa it's not like lot of gold is there. Whatever gold they have, see, gold jewelry, what we have found is recovered only from the hoards. Okay, meaning people have kept it safe. It's not like very openly they were using it. It was all stored in hoards. Okay, so in large settlement, which is like Mohenjo-daro and Harappa, you find a lot of valuable materials than those from the smaller settlements. That is again kind of common sense. Okay, you don't find this faience or perfume bottles, these kind of things you don't find in the small settlements. This also you have to know. Now we again go for the next topic, which is craft. Okay, craft production, if you take, Channu-daro is the most important site. Okay, in the map try to locate it. Channu-daro is a tiny settlement, less than 7 hectares, and it is compared to Mohenjo-daro, meaning compared to size I am telling. Okay, this is 7 hectares, but Mohenjo-daro is 125 hectares. So you can imagine how much small it is compared to Mohenjo-daro. But it's very important for bead making, shell cutting, metal working, seal making, weight making. So this in your notes. Okay, in my revision chart it's already there. Others, those who don't want to enroll, please make notes. Okay, so the variety of materials used to make beads is remarkable. Stones like, see, one more term, carnelian. It's a beautiful red color stone. Then jasper, I already told you, a precious stone. Crystal, quartz, then stitite, which you make the seal. Then metals like copper, bronze, gold, shell, faience, terracotta, burnt clay. All these were known to Harappan. At least that you should know, because that is what UPSC will ask. Like which of the following metals or minerals were known to the Harappans, which of the following they used for craft production. So these are the answers. Okay, so some beads were made of 2 or more stones cemented together, some of stone with gold cap also. Okay, so gold is used for making some craft or jewelry. So here some pictures you can see of the beads and bead making which they got from Channu-daro. So it can be disc shaped, cylindrical, spherical, barrel shaped, segmented, every type of thing is there. Lot of coloring is there, painting is there. Okay, different techniques are used for them. Stitite, I told you, it's a very soft stone, so it's easy to work on it. You can make it into different shapes, and it's molded into a paste so that you can make a stitite powder also. And all this of different geometrical forms made out of even harder stones are there. Okay, we have already discovered, the archaeologists have already discovered all of these things. Again, if you see, this kind of beautiful potteries were discovered from places which is now moved to the National Museum, Delhi. Okay, so this is actually got from Lothal, which is in Gujarat. Okay, this picture which you see. So if you see again, the red color of carnelian was obtained by how? By firing the yellowish raw materials and beads at various stages of production. Meaning, originally this carnelian is yellow color, but when you heat it at different levels, it will slowly become red. So when you need red color in your pottery or beads, you use this raw yellowish material and heat it at different levels. They were expert in that. Okay, so grinding, polishing, drilling, everything will be done and the process will be completed. Specialized drills were recovered from Channu-daro, Lothal, and even recently from Dholavira. This also is a potential UPSC prelims question. Now again, if you see Nageshwar and Balakot. Okay, Balakot airstrike and all you studied recently. So it's a Harappan site. Okay, so you will notice that both the settlements are near the coast. And they were specialized center for what? Shell objects. Obviously, you are in the coast means you will get the seashells, and with that you can make bangles, ladles, and inlay. Okay, you can make many things with the seashells. So again, make a note. Okay, Nageshwar and Balakot is coastal cities. Channu-daro is like a craft city where drills and other things are found. Then Channu-daro and Lothal, lot of finished products of these beads and everything were found. Mohenjo-daro and Harappa are large urban sites. Like this, every factual information you have to by heart it. Okay, now itself study it. Don't keep it for later. Then again, if you see different images and sculpture and different pottery. Okay, even like the frying pan kind of thing, cooking pan kind of thing, made of both copper and bronze were recovered. Okay, so archaeologists have recovered all these things, and in fact they are talking about the waste materials also. Okay, like there are many waste material which they will reject. Waste is one of the best indicators of craft work. Okay, meaning you find many small pieces there means you were cutting or drilling something that many waste pieces came. And these waste things are maybe discarded, or maybe they are used again in production as a recycling thing. Okay, large waste pieces were used up to make smaller objects, but minuscule bits were usually left in the work area. So these minuscule things give us a clue that this is a craft oriented area. Okay, they are just explaining to us how archaeologists come to conclusions like whether it's a craft production area or not. Okay, so in Mohenjo-daro, Harappa also don't think there is no craft. There also craft is there, but first we talked about the specialized centers, and then we will go on to the larger cities. Now the procuring of materials. So many things will be locally available. Okay, your stone, timber, metal and all will be there. But many other things are also there. You have to get it from outside the alluvial plain. Okay, meaning near the maybe UP area or maybe western side from Afghanistan or Iran. From there and all you have to bring certain things. Okay, so terracotta toy models of bullock cart is there. So bullock cart itself obviously you will use for transport from one place to another. So with that you can understand that through land route we were using that. Okay, and through river route also a boat kind of structure and all is found. So coastal route is also there. Okay, both road route and coastal route were used by Harappans for procuring materials. Okay, then if you see the material from subcontinent and beyond, there is a next heading where they are telling different places again, where if you see Nageshwar and Balakot, I told you can get the shells. Okay, because it's a coastal area. Shortugai, where I told the canals are there you will get something called lapis lazuli. Okay, lapis lazuli, a blue stone. So one yellow stone you studied, one red color you studied, blue color you are studying, special stones you are studying, this and all match the following question can come. Okay, then lothal, which is the source of this carnelian, that is that yellow color one, okay, which you will heat it and make it red, that is in Gujarat area. Then stitite, which is that soft stone which you make seal and pottery, that is in South Rajasthan and North Gujarat. Okay, then metals again from Rajasthan, and there is copper also actually from Rajasthan. You will see more in the next Khetri region of Rajasthan. You get copper. So that means they used to send expeditions. They were sending people to go and get all these things and come so that we can make. Then they go to South India for gold, because gold is not something which you get everywhere. Okay, gold and diamonds is very rare. Now, these expeditions established communication with local communities. Okay, Khetri area I told you, which is Rajasthan copper area. There is a culture called Ganeshwar Jodhpura culture. This came in very recent prelims. I think 2022 prelims or something this came. Okay, so it has a kind of difference, kind of non-Harappan pottery and an unusual wealth of copper objects. So it is possible the Harappan people got a lot of copper from this Ganeshwar Jodhpura culture, which is in the Khetri area of Rajasthan. Okay, I hope you are making notes of these things. Now look at this map. It is showing the things or the places from which possibly Harappan would have had trade relation. Harappan civilization and West Asia. So I told you Magan is present day Oman, you can tell. Dulmun is present day Bahrain. Mesopotamia is the kind of Iraq region. Okay, then this area and all kind of Afghanistan, Pakistan, Central Asia. Meluha is nothing but India's Harappan area only, or the Harappan civilization. Sukta Gandhor is the westernmost area of Harappa. Lothal is, I told you, a coastal city in Gujarat. So like this, every place which you see here is going to be asked one year or the other. Okay, this lecture, if you watch after 10 years also, it will be useful for your UPSC or SSC or any bank exam, wherever history is there in your syllabus. This is going to be a very wonderful lecture for you. Okay, so I hope by this time you have understood the quality, and I want you to like and comment in this video. Okay, I want your like or comment and tell like I am present sir, or like this is useful for me, or please continue. Please do that comment. Without your comment I will not be doing the second chapter, because a huge effort was involved. Last few days I have been working on making this PPT, which you see this much coloring and marking and all. In Ncert it will be all black and white. Okay, so I had to extract the most important things for you so that you don't miss even single mark in prelims or mains. Okay, so please support by putting a like and comment now. Now going with the distant lands, which I already showed you in the map, copper maybe have come from Oman other than from Rajasthan and all, and then Omani copper, these things and all are found, meaning whatever you find in Harappa, the same kind of traces you are finding in Oman also. So that means there is a common origin for it. Okay, so same like that, like Oman, if you see here, there are liquids which are found. Okay, liquids which are maybe transported through this pottery which is made of Oman copper. Okay, then Mesopotamia I told you, which is the Iraq region, and then Magan, which is the other name for Oman, and then the Harappan seal, weights, dice, beads, all these are found in these places, whether it is Magan, whether it is Mesopotamia, whether it is other Oman or Saudi areas. Everywhere Harappan some form of things are being discovered. Okay, Dilmun is probably the island of Bahrain, and then Meluha is possibly the Harappan region, and Meluha, I told you carnelian is there. Then lapis lazuli from Afghanistan area we get, copper, gold and varieties of wood also we get from different alluvial plains and all. So these kind of points, whichever I have highlighted and colored, is the most important thing for your exam. Okay, so a large Harappan jar coated with a thick layer of black clay has been found in Omani site. Okay, this is a very potential prelims point. Okay, where thick coatings are found. That means what? For holding the liquids properly and like airtight or watertight, they have designed it that way. Okay, so in Mesopotamian myth says about Meluha. Okay, meaning in their scriptures also, in your Iraq scriptures and all, there is a description which kind of describes about a bird. Okay, Haja bird. That Haja bird may be referring to the peacock of India. Okay, so these are all conclusions of historians. So if you see Harappan jar found in Oman looks something like this, and then a cylindrical seal is there. A cylindrical seal typical of Mesopotamia, but the humped bull which you see inside that. Okay, humped bull is a motif which you found in the Indus Valley region also. That is why maybe you traded something there, maybe you delivered some packet there, something on which this seal was there. Okay, so like that they are referring Meluha as the land of seafarers. That means they are coming there through ships and boats, and maybe the seal was used for that purpose only, as I told, to exchange some goods. So these are the different important information you have to know, factual information. Then there is a round Persian Gulf seal. Okay, Persia means the current Iran region. Okay, and Dilmun is the Bahrain region. Okay, so Dilmun weights are also found, and it also followed the same standard which the Harappan standard is there. Meaning what seals and weights and all you are using here, the same thing you are finding in Bahrain also of that timeline. Okay, and here another seal is there depicting a boat. So like that, any information which they could connect with different places, they are connecting, and that's how they conclude all this. Okay, and then there are signboards. Okay, I told you already, the scriptures till now nobody could read it. Okay, nobody could decipher what they are meaning, because usually when you try to study a language, you will understand that there are like English that has 26 alphabets, or maybe Malayalam has close to 50-55 alphabets. So you have a limit. But here in Indus Valley, there are unlimited number of alphabets, and it's like closely kind of 375 to 400 they have already found in many places. Lengthy sentences kind of thing they are found. So they are not able to read it. They are not able to conclude it. Okay, but whenever they have a seal, whenever they have something transferred from one place to another, something is written. Okay, something is definitely written. So they had a language. So if you see, a big signboard is found in Dholavira in Gujarat. Okay, like wet clay will be there. On top of that, if you make some scribblings, it will be staying for longer time. So like that, they make an impression on it, and the bags, okay, whichever reaches different places, that bag will carry the identity that, okay, this is from us, this is from the sender, or this is the Harappan people. Okay, but again, as I told, you are not able to read it, and the longest scripture they found has about 26 signs in one line itself. Okay, and it's definitely not alphabetical. So it is not alphabetical, it is kind of some pictorial kind of thing. Okay, maybe some other meaning it is, like round, maybe a wheel, and then the triangle means it's a box, like that. Maybe they have a meaning for each picture. Okay, it's a pictorial thing rather than alphabetical thing, of which around 400 symbols are already found. And one interesting they found is, it is written from right to left. Okay, we all write from left to right, right? But Arabic people are all write from right to left like this. Okay, how you find that? Based on the margin space. Okay, because whenever we write in a paper, what we will do? We will leave a little bit margin space, and then only we will write. So left side there is space in our writings, but in Harappan writings in the paper there is a space in the right side. Okay, and the left side they have written till the last. Okay, like space is running out. So margin is on this side. So with that you conclude that it is written from right to left. Okay. And all these objects, copper tools, jars, terracotta tablets, jewelry, bone, everything, some or the other sign or signboard and symbol is there. Okay, even on perishable materials it's there. So like that, the writings you till now could not find. Next is the weight. Weight, again, if you see, they had a proper binary system. That is, it's not written properly, but the weight is, if you weigh it, it's like 1 kilo or 2 kilo. The next is 4 kilo. I mean, they don't have a 3 kilo stone. Okay, they have a binary thing, 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32. Okay, and even higher weights are there, which is 200, 320, 640. Okay, that kind of weights they had. Okay, this is a ceiling from Ropar. Okay, Ropar area, also try to find out which state it is in India. Okay, so weights we have done, seals we have done, writings we have done. Okay, this, if you see, priest king, this is one of the most famous one in every history textbook. You will find this picture. Okay, I think from Mohenjo-daro only they got this. So because in Egypt and all there used to be a king like this, they called this also as the priest king of India. Okay, but they don't know who it is or what it is. So the indications of complex decision making is also seen, because we see that India's map I showed you, different, like far away locations are there. Okay, one is here, one is here, one is here. It's all far away, and still the brick size was like 4:2:1 everywhere. Okay, or the granary size, or the way in which they burn it or dry it, or the way the drainage is planned across all the cities, everything is same. That means there is somebody who is deciding it. There is some authority who is making all these complex decisions, and that is how they have a single center. Okay, so settlements are strategic in specific locations. Labor was mobilized for bricks. All this gives an idea that obviously there was some strong decision making center and not random. Okay, that is also one more learning which you get from the proofs which we see, evidences which we see. So that can be maybe king, or maybe there is like a kind of a royal group of kings. Okay, that is all we have to conclude. Again, as you proceed in this chapter, you will see like what are they trying to conclude. Okay, just like in 5-10 minutes I'll try to wind up the video. So you will see some more analysis of different historians. Okay, different archaeologists. So stone priest king, I already told you, they comparing with the Mesopotamia and Egypt and all, they called it a king. Okay, and see this, either they had no rulers, meaning there was no rulers in Harappa, everybody had equal status, or there was no single ruler, or they had a group of rulers. Okay, you see several. Mohenjo-daro had a separate ruler, Lothal had a separate ruler, Ropar had a separate ruler. Okay, the second conclusion. Or there was a single state, which is the most probable one, where one king will decide for every city, and that way they are concluding because, as I told, the similarity in artifact, the standardized brick size, the drainage system, the raw materials found everywhere. Okay, and maybe they had some sort of democratic system also, and that is why maybe it was peaceful for such a long time. Okay, more than 1000 years they were surviving because there may be some kind of a democratic system. Okay, this and all they are not concluding with full evidence, but if UPSC asks in prelims like they may have existed a democracy, they may have had a single ruler, then it can be marked as true. Okay, this is what NCERT tells you, 3 possibilities, and they are stressing on the third possibility, that there is a single state with a proper democratic system. The end of civilization also, till now nobody could able to find out whether it was a flood which came, or whether a war happened, or whether some disease happened. They don't know how it happened, but because if there was a disease, or if there was something war, you will find lot of remains of that war, or you will find lot of remains of like lot of skeletons of dead body together, but such things were not there. So it's concluded that maybe flood happened and entire bodies were wiped out into the ocean or something like that. Okay, in the movie also Mohenjo-daro, they are showing a kind of flood only which ended the civilization. Okay, so here how you understood that the civilization is getting over? Because the transformation of material culture we can find. There is a disappearance of the artifacts like the weight, seals, special beads and all. The timeline which we got is all of a single timeline. It is not there beyond a particular time. Okay, the writings, the long distance trade proof which we got, the craft, everything is disappearing. Okay, the house construction technique is deteriorating, meaning it was an urban civilization, right? But later we see that rural life is starting, meaning a total something happened, something very disastrous happened, that entire thing vanished. Till now nobody has been able to prove it, but it is considered that a flood or maybe natural disaster or something happened, that all people migrated or something like that. Okay, all people have gone, because there is no proof of war or metallic objects or any like Aryan invasion, this thing which we claim. There is no proper evidence for that till now. Okay, climate change, deforestation, excessive flood, shifting because of drying up of river, because it used to be a flourishing area with canals and all, but now you know Rajasthan, Gujarat, those areas are all desert areas. Okay, so maybe that can be a reason. So that we have to don't know, but they do not explain clearly the collapse of the entire civilization. But the disappearance and the transformation from urban to rural is the biggest proof that that civilization ended. Okay, so here again if you see the late Harappan areas, I already showed you the early Harappan area, same like that late Harappan, Siswal, Jhukar and here Swat, these are the areas of the late Harappan civilization or the end of civilization. Okay, so we are kind of concluding this chapter now. These are all different writings. Okay, see John Marshall about Mohenjo-daro, he has written. R.E.M. Wheeler has written about Harappa. So in that and all they write about certain things that you know, this Indra, the god and all which we have. Indra, the Aryan war god, is called Puramdara, which is fort destroyer. And in Rigveda already this Pura and all means fort. So maybe someone like that came and destroyed the whole fort and city. There are all different conclusions. Okay, it's not like a proper theory, but people are giving their own opinions based on what they found. Okay, so different skulls and bones, as I told. If there was a war, you could have found lot of bones and things and all, but that you could not find. And you could not find metallic objects or helmets and all. That's already a UPSC prelims question, that lot of helmets, metal objects, everything were found. That's all false. Okay, we couldn't find any such kind of large scale destructions which happened. Okay, skeletons found at the site did not belong to the same period. So this is another person, okay, George Dales. So everyone are giving their opinion. This box I just showed you, it's not very important in exam point of view, because there is no proper conclusion. Okay, and then the 3D facial structure with modern technology, when you try to map of Harappan people, is actually matching with the people who are presently living there. Okay, meaning the Rakhigari, the largest site, there the DNA was extracted and it is matching with the indigenous people. Okay, the current Haryanvi people and all, it is actually matching with today's people. So this people telling that large scale migration happened, everybody left there, that also is not true. Okay, like some Aryans came and settled, that is also not fully true. So that way you have to believe what these people are telling for your exam point of view, or maybe your interest point of view. If you are studying history in an extensive format, you have to go with these evidences only. Okay, and if there was a war, a final defense, maybe in the fort, something they set up an armory or something, such evidence should be there. That also was not there. Okay, no evidence like some defense was taken by the citadel or any particular area. Okay, that also is not there in this particular region. Okay, genetic roots I already explained, the same thing we have given in detail. There is nothing like this so-called Aryans coming and all. The genes are matching with those days people with today's people. Okay, that is up to 5,000, 10,000 years and all. You have an unbroken continuity of gene which transferred from person to person. That shows that large scale migration also did not happen, but something has happened which we are not able to figure out. Okay, so here one term is there, archaeogenetics is the study of DNA of ancient population. Okay, and here Cunningham himself made a sketch of the first known seal of Harappa. Okay, kind of animal is there, and that is how the first seal is there, and some writing is also there on the seal. Okay, Cunningham was the first Director General of the Archaeological Survey of India. Okay, so Harappan city fell into ruin. Men and women began living later somewhere else, and maybe washed by floods. Soil erosion happened, plowing, digging and all stopped. So this and all, when you find out, this is the conclusion which you get, that it declined due to some reason. So Cunningham's confusion is also given, that different texts and scriptures and all he has taken, and he is also depending on this Chinese people and Buddhist Pilgrim people and all, who left a lot of writings and who visited India and Indian subcontinent. But again, most of the people did not go much to Harappa and all, or that Pakistan area. So we don't have much information from that also. So whatever is collected, should we believe or should we again dig for more things? This is the confusion which Cunningham had. Okay, because as I told you, it's not an itinerary of the Chinese pilgrims, because within India, the Mauryan, the Ashoka, Gupta, many things we learn from Chinese scriptures. Okay, even Mughals area and all, we learn many from Chinese scriptures. But the Harappan thing, we are not able to study. That is why Cunningham got confused now how to go ahead in learning about the Harappan civilization. Okay, so here Dayaram Sani, I told you in the starting of this chapter, he is the one in the 1920s and all started excavations of the Harappan area, and also archaeologist Rakhal Das Banerjee found seals in Mohenjo-daro. 1924, same time John Marshall announced the discovery of the civilization officially. So this timeline is very important, or maybe they will even ask you to arrange it in order. Okay, like Harappa started, Mohenjo-daro excavation started, John Marshall came, or Cunningham did something. This in descending order or ascending order, they'll make you write. That is why the starting of the chapter itself, I told you to by heart that table. Okay, so here again the story of Indian archaeology is something by a person called S.N. Roy. Okay, in which they told again about a little bit about the comparison between Harappa and the Mesopotamian region. Okay, so here the Director General John Marshall, he again tells like there were some mistakes done in certain places. Like if you take a land, okay, and when you dig little bit, you will get one layer. Okay, so that layer, everything will be of same timeline. After that, there will be a little bit of mud layer and all which accumulated over the years, and after that only the next civilizations or the previous civilization which existed you will find. But people, instead of digging it in vertical, they will dig it in horizontal, and they will get stuck in one civilization only. So like that mistakes will be there, and then you cannot recover it also if you dig it incorrectly. Okay, so that mound related thing in a picture format they have shown here. Okay, like each layer, as I told, one layer will be one civilization, one type of tools, one type of metals, everything you will get. Okay, because that's how it would have started, right? Some people are living here, then they all died, then here full mud and silt, everything is there, there's no people there, then again new people come to live there, so a new kind of reference will be there. After that again mud will be there, again new will be there, so like in different vertical levels you will get it. So that thing, that full study, okay, which they call sterile layers, and the study is called stratigraphy, okay, that if done incorrectly, your complete historical things which you till now found out will go wrong. Okay, so the cultural sequence of a site you can learn through stratigraphy, which is the study of layers, and each layer they are calling as sterile layers, and it will be different from one another in color, texture, and also the artifacts which are found. Okay, and this layer or this thing they are even calling debris or a mound. Okay, these are just terminologies which you can use in your exam. Don't use very basic words. Okay, for a UPSC exam you should use words like these only, which is given in this particular textbook. Okay. So Kalibangan, Lothal, Rakhigari, and most recently Dholavira, all these discovered and excavated are giving us lot of information, and you should know individually which state they are from, what is the speciality of each of these places, and whether which particular archaeologist told in particular about each of the place. Okay, see, this person's timeline is 1944. Okay, he also was the Director General of ASI, but not the first one. Okay, so he only told properly do the stratigraphy along horizontal lines uniformly and all, so that you get the proper thing. But one problem which happened is with partition, many of the important sites went to Pakistan, and you know Pakistan and all, they will not do it properly. Okay, these kind of things, they will only do something to take credit, they won't try to recover our history or anything. Okay, Kutch area in India was nicely excavated only when partition happened. Okay, because then we have to obviously cannot go to Pakistan and do the digging and all, so we did areas of our areas to find out whether we can do something. That is how these new areas like Rakhigari and all was discovered. Okay. So over the decades, we are trying to find logic and connection between different sites from 80s and all, even international, as I told, Americans are visiting, French is visiting, many people are visiting, specialists are trying to get more information, and hopefully we will learn something new, and in new NCERTs and all, again more and more things you will study. Okay, and then these kind of people like Wheeler and everyone, whatever they told, maybe that will be correct or maybe that will be wrong also. Okay, so these are all just his stories. Like when he came there, it was full like jackals were there, Muslim officer assisted me, and I stayed in a small rest house. This is not important. Okay, his mission to India and Pakistan, in that whatever he did, NCERT has just quoted it. Okay, so this is the last slide, I guess, where they're telling just conclusion. There's nothing new I can teach you here. I have covered almost everything which I could do. Harappan script, if we discover, okay, we decipher, then maybe we can read much more things, and we can conclude much more things. Okay, so here they are telling, oh, this is just one last thing I want to tell you, the materials. Okay, just one second. They're classifying what they discover, right? They're classifying, that is, one is based on what is the material, meaning you keep all the stone objects together, you keep all the clay objects together, metal objects together. That's how you classify one type. Another classification which they do is based on the function. Okay, meaning what are all the maybe kitchen type of utensils keep one side, what are the other maybe agriculture related keep another side. So that is also another way which these archaeologists do, and they like that will have direct evidence also, or maybe indirect evidence also. As I told, because there was a bull on the seal, they are concluding that okay, maybe they used bull for agriculture also, or maybe because there was a toy of a wooden toy of a plow, they are thinking okay, plow was used for wooden plow was used for the actual plowing also. Okay, like traces of cotton is there, based on that maybe you can conclude that they are using cotton clothing. So like that there is a lot of indirect evidence also which these historians use, so that you can conclude something. Okay, this last section they are just telling about the religion and gods also. Priest king, I already told you, they had a priest king kind of structure, then they had a mother goddess kind of thing. This and all in 6th standard NCERT, more details are there. Here just they are telling like a story only, like a headline only, they are not giving much information. Okay, so terracotta based mother goddess is there, and then this Pashupati figure is there. Okay, one Pashupati seal which we find, which is very important, where a person, a god kind of thing is sitting in yogic posture. It is, they are considering it as proto Shiva. Okay, because in the your Rig Veda and all later, Rudra is mentioned. Rudra is Shiva, so Shiva's posture is kind of that way. So they conclude that okay, this Shiva may be that Shiva. That kind of conclusions are there. Okay, and then small conical objects when you find, they're considering that that is the Linga or the Shiva Linga. Okay, that also I think photos will be there. I will show you soon. Okay, like here, see, This one, they don't know whether it is the Shiva Linga or they don't know whether it is just a game or some board game which they are playing with some coins. Okay, chess kind of something they are playing. So that also Ernest Mackay has told we cannot conclude. Okay, so the Shiva, Proto Shiva also told either it is Shiva, Pashupati, which I told, Lord of Animals and protector of all the cattle and all, with reference to Rudra from Rig Veda, or it is possibly a shaman. Okay, so what is shaman? Shaman is something which is men and women who claim magical and healing power as well as ability to communicate with the other world. Okay, this again for prelims is very important. What is shaman? Okay, so they could not conclude whether this is Pashupati, Shiva, the same Shiva which we later study in Rudra, this Rig Veda, or it is some other magical person who can communicate with the outside world with magical healing power and all. Okay, so this is the mother goddess, this is the Pashupati, this is the Shivalinga, and these are the final religious conclusions which they are giving in this particular textbook. Okay, see, a terracotta cart is there, so they conclude that originally also it should have been there, right? That is why they made a model of this. That is how transport they used bullock cart, agriculture they used plow. These kind of conclusions are there. So final conclusion, if the script is deciphered, we can confirm all of these things, else we don't know. Okay, we cannot tell whether Great Bath was actually for ritualistic purpose, whether there was a difference between rich people and poor people, there was gender related roles assigned to men and women. We can't tell anything with conclusion. Okay, whether they had a relationship with the Vedic people. It's all historians who are telling us and we have to believe it. Okay. So here some questions are given. This is all class 12 standard level, but still you can pause and see. Okay, because if you see, this is a burial. The skeleton is found here, and along with that some vessels or some things are also found in that burial. So this, it's not everywhere, but some of the burials had these kind of things. This is what we studied in detail about Harappan civilization. I hope it helped you. And in case you are very serious about preparation, I force you, or I can urge you to enroll to our test series. Okay, test series PDFs, if you learn parallelly with this, you will definitely clear prelims. Okay, so pack 1, contact me, because the new pack of 2026 and 25 is very bigger with a bigger timetable and all. So don't look at pack 1. Subject wise, if you need, you can see this chart, and pack 2, pack 3, pack 4, pack 5, all these has, if you see, the spectrum specific is there, NCERT specific is there, all history in one package is there, everything is there. Okay, just WhatsApp me and enroll to it, and please study. Okay, I am doing this much effort so that you don't miss even a single mark. So please study. Okay, and you can go to these questions also. These are all class 12th level, but not UPSC level. Okay, so I'll wind up this video. Thank you and have a nice day.